Hello, how are you cute little pecinitos? Today we are going to talk to you about Sansevieria, a beautiful plant to have at home that is super easy to care for, and that you will be amazed by all the good things it can bring to your house, living room, home, or whatever you want. First of all, Sansevieria, look how it is written. I put it here for you. Sansevieria, not Sansevieria. Many people call it badly. It is also known as a language. From mother-in-law.
Don't ask me why. They call it mother-in-law's tongue.
It's also called St. George's sword. Wonderful names. If you want to have indoor plants at home, this is a must. Find the variety of the ones you like the most. The more taken they seem to you, this one will never let you down. Why? Because it is very simple to care for, and because it adapts to many different areas of your house. Your house is very gloomy, you may have. Your house is very bright, you can have your house. It's a vacation home where you have plants and you go very... You can also have a little... You are the typical threats that you're not good at plants and sometimes forget to water them for 2 months.
Sansevieria is your plant.
Okay, it's a plant that wants nothing, the only thing. What you want is to settle in a place, your house, stay there and decorate over time.
But my voice is I'm getting a terrible voice here, man.
A curiosity about this plant is that it is among those that NASA says clean the air at home. They have done scientific studies with indoor plants that clean toxins from the air. What toxic benzene, formaldehyde, ethers. Basically, we are surrounded by things that at home are releasing substances harmful to the body at home, since the Sansevieria absorb them through the leaves. Okay, so they clean our house air and give us clean oxygen back. Okay, a hit. Having Sansevierias at home. Besides the typical curiosities of Sansevierias, now comes the main care part for Sansevierias, and I am making it a priority list for you, because it's the most important thing to me. This plant is watered very little, you almost don't have to water it, and if you water it too much, you will rot, and that's when the Sansevieria dies, because you have to water it so little that you will see here in situ how it is watered. Look at this Sansevieria you see here. Notice what a small pot it has. I have had it for over 1 year in the store pot, and it has grown. I'm not going to tell you twice as much as when I bought it, but when I bought it, it was surely this height. He's grown a lot. If you look, here is a new sheet, and here is another new sheet that I didn't bring when I bought it. It's green and it's beautiful, but how much do you need to water this plant? Because look what root system it has. Look, you see it completely dry. When you see dry land, you have to water. By the way, later I'm going to talk to you about the earth, because understanding this earth that they use is essential to not make mistakes by. If you put a universal substrate on it, you're going to spoil it, okay? So stay and watch the video later.
How is it watered then?
We place the bowl on the table, add water, and now I'm going to tell you something about it. We put 2 fingers of water in this bowl, and all you have to do is keep your Sansevieria in that water. You're going to leave it there and it's going to start absorbing water from bottom to top. That's all. Now I'm going to follow the entire rhythm of the video and then stay until the end, because at the end I'm going to show you how it has actually absorbed a lot of water and the ground has become completely soaked. Well, now we know how to water, and we also know when to water again when the soil is completely dry. The reason why it is watered is not because it is a plant that is completely adapted to very substrates.
I don't know if you're leaving to understand.
Inert substrates, look at this soil, you see it, I'm going to tell it to be cardboard, but this is a peat, they are mosses, Spanish peats, coconut. Okay, they are soils whose only function is to provide a little bit of nutrients, practically none to the plant. But retaining water the moment you water it and always covering the root of the plant, nothing more. You do not have to fertilize it with compost or worm humus. Take note of this, because many people start putting organic matter in here and the root rots. It is especially true with worm humus, because worm humus retains water, and that is not good for this plant. Not good. If you see that at the bottom of the pot, you see that there are already chubby roots that are protruding, then maybe it's your turn. Change it to a pot bigger than me. I recommend that if it is a small pot like that or this size, you calculate by measuring the diameter of the pot. In this case, it is still about 12 centimeters. I would give it a pot with a diameter of 14 centimeters or 16 centimeters, no larger. They are not, they are going to need bigger, okay? A fundamental aspect of this plant is that you can have it in an area of the house with very little light, okay? It is going to adapt to a lot of different areas, but they are perfect for shady areas at the end of the stay, for the hallway of your house, where there is not much light because it only enters through the living room or the kitchen. But there is one thing that seems essential to me with this plant, and that is to do a little maintenance on the leaves, which will help you a lot to keep it healthy. And the leaves, if you clean them from time to time, you will have the plant with much more growth. It's a very slow growing plant, huh? I also tell you, but if you take care of it and hydrate its leaves from time to time, it's going to be phenomenal, okay? And to hydrate the leaves, let's go with my magic trick that you loved in the video of Spatifilo, that I leave you the makeup remover disc there. This is a great invention for taking care of plants that you can't even imagine. If you didn't know my Spatify video, you will now see how cool it will be for you. Look, to clean the leaves of a plant, you have to be very careful. These not so much because these are quite hard, okay? But a delicate plant, you have to treat it like a treasure, okay? And these discs are very soft, okay? They are for removing makeup, just go through makeup or whatever, and they clean, worth the makeup or dust off the blades. How do I use them? Look, the only thing I do is moisten and wet this makeup remover disc. I soak it well. That is, if you have to leave it well soaked precisely so that when it is soaked, it doesn't scratch the leaves. Let's see, it won't scratch them anyway. But well, I advise you to soak it well. Look, you can see it here. There is like a dust, some spots. These are fine, and sometimes even the lime from the water accumulates on the leaves. Well, I just passed the sponge through the sheet on the outside, and I'm going to do it on the inside as well. The immediate effect is that you notice how beautiful the shine is on the plant, the dust or spots it may have. They are cleaned and give it a beautiful shine. Look at the difference in brightness between this sheet and this one, and now look at this sheet over here. I'm also going to pass it on, and look what a different shine the leaf gives it. What a beautiful color. We do the same here, and now I'm going to give you advice on something you can do if you want to or not. Any day at home you have a beer and you have a leftover beer in a glass and it's already hot and you won't drink it instead of throwing it away. Mix that beer with, well, imagine a little bit of beer with the same amount of water. Reduce that rest of the beer to 50% in that mixture of water and beer. Wet the sponge and pass your water with beer to the leaves. That causes your Sansevieria two things. The first thing, you hydrate it, and the second thing is that the beer gives it a beautiful shine if the water already leaves it with a shine. I brew it because it gives it a shine sometimes that seems a little artificial, but it has a beautiful shine left. And don't worry because it won't attract flies or smell bad or anything, okay? The plant immediately absorbs that moisture, and that's it. By the way, stay and watch the video because at the end I'm going to give you a trick with the water that I have used. This one you see here is another Sansevieria called cylindrical. This can be in different forms, one that is rolled up as well as in a kind of braid that is wonderful, or this one that is simply elongated like this. I'll do the same to this one, huh? I take the sponge, I hit it like this for the leaves, and I have them hydrated. I water them in the same way as this, and this the same way. I water them all the same.
And now with this image so sensual and explicit, okay?
I'll tell you. Hey, this plant can be reproduced by cuttings and I save the money to buy it. Not cheap, huh? Because the growth is very slow. So they are not cheap because it is a plant that you have to take care of for a long time to have a size to sell. Okay, there are two possible ways. Okay, one in this variety of cylindrical is for children. It takes out a lot of children that are born finite next to it. And the children are like that. Look, how nice this came out of the little edge of the pot. Look. Yan, this is just like a little sun who was like this coming out of the earth. Can those little children come out of you with roots or without roots? If it comes out without roots, don't worry, look at a glass of water. Do you leave it here? A couple of months if you want, and in the end it ends up making you a root system. Digitus didn't have these roots. I think I taught this on Instagram, in some live shows that I do on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Come on, you see everything. I do a lot of live shows talking about information. When you see that it has a good root system in a slightly small pot, you put a little coconut fiber. You put your little son of Sansevieria and let it spread the roots little by little. Don't go crazy watering because it is a plant that fights to drink. It's okay to water a little the first time the soil has a little humidity and the plant dries up. Life is already going to look for new roots and to grow. How does this play? Well, there is a super easy system that is based on a sheet. Now, I'm not going to cut it here in front of you to do it, but a long leaf is cut. You can cut it like this, put it in water or in a kind of very humid peat. There it will take root and that can be transplanted perfectly. Now, before finishing the topic of water, water is mineral. As so little is watered and so little is used to clean the leaves. I don't use tap water because sometimes it comes with a little lime or chlorine. And now look at this. The pot had about 2 fingers of water. It started to absorb a little of that water from below. And look at the change in color that the earth has. You see it here. It has turned dark brown on top. It looks the same, and this is the way in which the Sansevieria is watered now to drain. And I don't water it again, possibly in a couple of months. In summer, if the air is very dry, maybe in a month I'll water it again. From time to time you can add a little fertilizer. The liquid will thank you. You put a splash here in this water. If the liquid fertilizer is ecological, better. And it will suit you well. It's worth one for green plants. You don't need anything else. I leave you up there the video of resistant plants for home. You will love it because I'm talking about this and many others. I leave you here the video of the poto that you are going to love a lot more. Here I leave you the video of the strawberry bench that has been a hit on the channel, and there is my last video for you to take a look. See you in the next video.